To show the presentation and to start, we have the RA 1425 or the Introduction to Results, Life Works and Writing. So why is it no very important to study this course? So well, since you have your own understanding and you have a little bit of information from the previous discussion and what I'm discussed before, no, from some of the questions and clarification that being talked to, no, in our group chat. So then again, the subject is intro, life and works. So this is Sir Jerwin Quitcho, your instructor. And after this completion of the chapter or this topic, no, you should be able, no, that the students too, you have to explain the history of the Rizal law and its importance provision. So what are the things that are being inside the Rizal law that we need to understand better, and you as a student will benefit on that one. And most importantly, no, you have to finish this one. Otherwise, no, you will not be able to graduate your baccalaureate degree because this RA 1425 is a mandatory one for all the courses no, in the college level or in the tertiary one. Next is you have to critically assess the effectiveness of the result course. You have to think no very a deep one no and to think more which is this one is really an effective one to the everyone and an applicable one to everyone. And most importantly is this really no a useful to each and every one of us no to further uh, guess no what are the things that being achieved by results and the importance and the contributions of the result no law itself. And next is since we're done with the importance of the course, it being answered already this one, but most of your classmates no, or other students could not be past this one, but I am not forcing anybody or any someone to please pass on time or make it possible to pass it on time and for you to be able to have your activity one. Grading system is clear, requirements is clear based on the syllabus. The history and the importance of the profession, this one will tackle for this day. The different historians from RA1425 no, on their perspective on how will they see no, how is RA1425 uh, through the making of it. And the first one we have is Jose P. Laurel. Jose P. Laurel, one of the author from the RA1425, and she's one of the great hero no, that who contribute to make this law pass. And from the upper and the lower house, we have two person no, who have rendered their service to provide no, their own ideas and how to contribute to our lives right now today. So what is importance for Jose P. Laurel? So he created this law no, due to Rizal's valuable role in the project of nation. So as like what I said, no, what are the importance of being to Rizal is mga first thing that we discussed in this virtual class ng last time. So those are the things that the valuable role in the project of nation building. And most importantly, what are those major contribution that really affects on our hearts and our mind, and that's why we need to enhance more yung ating pinaka-idea ng pagiging makabayan because nation building yung tinutukoy dito. And most importantly, we have Senator Recto or Claro M. Recto. So he was one also that requested to Laura now to sponsor this bill from the Senate and the House of Representatives. Actually, this both two, no, we have same characteristics, which is the nationalism and patriotism. That is why no, they built this law. And because of these two characteristics, no, because of these two men no, behind the law, those characteristics that it possess, something that uh, the magic of the Rizal law that they created to the Senate and the lower from the lower and the upper house. So we have the RA 1425. This is a law now right now, and before it is a House bill, no, a House bill from the lower house 5561, while the Senate bill is 438. Okay. So one more thing, no. So the RA 1425 it will not be a law without the sign or the approval of the president by Ramon Magsaysay. And during the approval of this one, no, on the Third Congress of the Philippines on June 12, 1956, but before it become a law, no, many protests and many against of the law, no, which yung humadlang na tinatawag, no, yung mga kontrabida in life. So, who among of them, no, ang mga kontrabida o yung mga tinatawag natin mga antagonist, no? So, sino ba sila? So, ito po yung simbahang Katoliko. Kasi sa mga una, no, na naging opposed, no, sa law na to. Why? Because they see this one is a harm for the salvation of everyone because of the readings of the Noli and Elfili. So, it is further, no, requiring that the law, no, must have, no, to teach the novel of the Noli and Elfili. So, that is when, no, very importantly to understand, no, what are the common possibilities na pwede nating kalaban o hadlang sa ating sa pinakalo ng RA 145. And as a sign of the protest of this one, hindi nawala ang pagkakaroon ng protesta ng pagsasara ng kanilang mga eskwelahan upang ipakita ang kanilang pakikiisa na ayaw nila, no, itong uri ng batas na ginagawa ng mga mambabatas. So, ugali nila na huwag tangkilikin at huwag tanggapin ang batas nito. So, sumunod na bagay, ano ba yung RA 1425? No? Ang sabi daw dito sa introductory, no, sa preamble ng law ng RA 1425, this is a statutory one. No? So this is an explanation by the law and the meaning itself, no, is being driven over here. And very clear, no, and enough to discuss further yung mga kailangan natin alamin because everything is being written over here. No? So everything is clear and everything is important, no, written in the RA 1425 law. So sabi din dito, no, public and private schools and colleges and universities of the life and works of Rizal's writings of Jose Rizal, particularly yung novel na Noli and Elfili, are should be authorizing that the printing and distribution and the other purposes thereof of the RA 1. So, becoming an inclusion, no, in the curricula, ibig sabihin, it is a mandatory one that we need to, no, to take this course. Otherwise, sabi ko nga kanina, this 3-unit course of Rizal could not be one, no, I'm sorry, it could not be one, no, na pwede natin sabihin na pag-graduate tayo without passing this course. So, meaning to say, you have to finish this course and you pass this. Otherwise, you cannot be able to graduate, no, and to get your diploma without passing this because it is a mandatory one of the law. So, in private and public school, so it's over being taught. Next is, sabi din dito, ang introductory din na ano yung ambition ng RA 1425 is we have to rededication of the ideas of the freedom and the nationalism. So for each now lives and the hero. So since they are using whereas, no, katulad ng sabi ng kanina sa introductory, it is no want to meet na honoring them the particularly of the national hero and patriot of Jose Rizal. And we need to remember, no, those special things that being done by Jose Rizal. That is why, no, he has a lot of memorial, no, or yung ating mga statue, the other in the many places in the world, no, not here only in the Philippines, but many places in the world. So if you go into other places like US, like in Spain, no, those are some no, places that you be seen and found, no, the statue of Jose Rizal. And one more thing is sabi din dito, the devotion of their lives and work that have been shaped the national character. So most importantly, no, itong character na ipinakita niya from the Filipinos that inspired them, no, to become a hero. So sabi nga nung characteristics ng ng isang pagiging bayani, pagiging mahinahon, merong pagmamahal sa bayan, pagiging isang malasakit, no, sa kapwa-tao. At higit sa lahat yung hindi gumamit ng gas. Isa sa mga karakter na tinitingnan ng mga uh, nagsagawa ng mga bata, nagsagawa ng pagsusuri, no, ng kanilang paano pipiliin ang isang bayani. No? But then again, no, there is no such law that being described, no, Rizal as a hero one. No? Though we have a Republic Act 1425, such, no, na pwede natin pagbatayan at pwede natin makita sa pagsasabi na pwede maging bayani sila because of this one. Another thing, no, the life and works of writers of Rizal, no, once again, the Nolan El Fili, are constant inspiring source of patriotism. So that is why, no, it is really, no, an important thing, no, that being embedded in our course that Nolan El Fili is have to teach, no, for further understand and to develop our notion, no, what are the inspiring, no, thing that being brought by these two idea no, ng novel niyang Noli and so which no, the minds of the youth, especially during the formative and decisive years in school, should be suffused. Actually, in development naman ng isang tao, ng isang youth, no, kabataan, nakadepende pa rin yan no, sa kanyang environment and at the same time sa tinuturo ng mga nakakatanda at nakakapaligid sa kanya na meron ng alam at muwang sa mundo kung paano gumalaw sa mundong niyaya pa kanya o kung saan man siya naroroon. So this one, no, it's an important no, to shape down for us to better understand and to develop yung mga bagay na hindi natin alam, mga desisyon na kailangan natin tignan, no? And sa mga gawa ni Rizal, no, pwede natin masabi na yes, meron tayong pwedeng kapulutan, merong mga magagandang bagay at aral. It could be one, no, ayos for everyday life of our stay here in this world. So, many things, no, na pwede nating ipakita sa bawat isa. Next, no, isa lang naman ang gusto sabihin dito ng RA1 Part 25 ulit eh. Gusto lang naman na gawin itong ano, no, isang uh, required no, or requirement no, sa lahat ng institusyon na mag-undergo no, na magkaroon ng isang regulation no, ng isang bansa na neto sa school, sa development ng moral character, sa personal discipline, sa civic conscience, and teach duties of citizenship. Ito lang yung gusto na mangyari na dapat na mapakita. And this is no one of the things that being written on or being described by the Article 2 no ng ating 1987 Constitution that the state no that regulate no in the development of the moral character. So that is when hindi may papaliban ng kahit ano man o uri ng mga sakuna o phenomena dito sa bansa yung pagpapatigil ng pag-aaral ng ating mga estudyante. Katulad niya sabi niya, kailangan magkaroon tayo ng mga yung uh, yung academic freestyle. So hindi siya maaaring mangyari kasi this is the duties na meron tayo na pwede natin dapat gawin no, bilang isang state no, isang bansa kailangan makita. And of course, no, the schools are required no, to develop the moral character of the students, personal discipline, civic conscience, and the teaching duties of citizenship. Kaya yung tinuturo in the school, no, this is more importantly, no, to develop, no, your other aspect of it. Not only on the mind of how you grow, no, to know everything about say, Rizal life and works, but to teach you more, develop moral character, personal discipline, and so on, no, na meron tayo. Next is section 1, no? So this is the most important part of the RA1 for 2. So we have to understand better what are the inclusion of the RA142 that must be met. No? After completing this course, you should know how to describe what are the particular sections that we have in this law. So number 1, sabi ko nga kanina, no, yung ating course na Life and Course of Rizal na subject na Rizal course ay kailangang ituro ang Noli at Elfili. And ito ay kailangan kasama sa curricula o sa kanilang subject sa school na kanilang kukunin o enroll sa mga pampubliko at pribadong universidad dito sa Pilipinas. At kasama nito, sinasabi din dito, sa tertiary no, na ating kurso o ating educational attainment right now is dapat original na makita ang audition at walang babaguhin no, na kahit ano mula sa tinuturo ng Noli at Elfili. At ito po ay nasa English no, na translation as basis of the text na maunawaan ng mga estudyante. Kasi hindi naman po ito nakalagay sa lingwahe natin na Pilipino at yung English before. So ito ay nakasulat no, sa wikang Espanyol kaya hindi natin siya maiintindihan. Kung kaya't ito hinihikayat at sinasabi na higit sa lahat gawing English ang kanyang medium of language or in communication or information, and so that the translation no, so could be able to understand better the text inside of the Elfili and Noli, the Noli and Elfili Gustis. So next. So sa section 2 naman, ganun din kasama dun sa naunang binanggit, no. So, inoobliga ang lahat ng eskwelahan, no, ito man ay kolehiyo o universidad, na magkaroon sila ng sapat na kopya, no? O dami ng kanilang original na tinutukoy mula sa Section 1 na Noli and Pili na nobela. That, of course, as well, yung kanilang libro na Noli at Pili ay hindi sasapat lang doon sa dalawang aklat na itinuturo, kundi kasama rin ang buhay at ibang mga gawa at yung pagkakakilanlan ni Rizal, yung biography. So, it is mean that everything should be included and should be taught no, in one book, and everything should be follow on the law, that everything is clear and understandable that should be taught to the students in the colleges and universities, public and private one. So maliwanag yung section 1 and section 2. Sabi din dito, kasama nun, should be an English, no, na translation and include no, an approval of the list of the books na required readings in a public and a private one. Sa madaling salita, kung tayo pupunta sa library, dapat makakakita kayo ng kopya at meron kayong magagamit upang gawing isang mga kasangkapan o supplementary readings o pwedeng gawin yung mga aklat bilang patnubay sa inyong pag-aaral ng subject na Rizal, Life and Works Writings, no, na SOCSI 6 tinatawag. So sumunod sa section 3 naman, ang National Board of Education, no, ang sabi daw dito, yung translation daw ay inuutos nila sa Nolan L. Philly ng mga buhay at gawa rin ni Rizal ay maging English at isa rin ang Tagalog, no? And yung principal dialects ng ating bansa. So ano ba itong mga to pwedeng maging magamit? So kung ano may yung mga po pwede na maisalin at nakakitaan na pwede natin magawa, na maging isang babasahin na pwedeng pamamatnubay sa ating pag-aaral na mas mabilis natin maintindihan mula sa ating dialekto na ginagamit upang makita ang kahalagahan at yung nation building na tinatawag ng dalawang author na nagsabi ng RA, ng House Bill at ng Senate Bill. Okay? So, other things, sabi din dito, cause them to be printed cheap, popular editions, and cause them to be distributed free of charge to person deciding to read them through purok organization and barrio councils throughout the country. So, ibig sabihin, it is not only found on the libraries, but on for the small places no that we can still no have to share and have copies of this following. But then again, the Republic Act 1425, so mention this one, but in reality, everything is not could not be seen, could not be looked, no, because maybe it's a part of the situation right now. Maybe it's a part of the other happenings before, no, that today it affect no the RA 1425 imposing that the section 3 should be looked no on the following one. So tingin ko yun yung mga pwede natin. Ayoko mag-blame ng anybody o ayoko mag-point out ng bakit walang ganito sa iba't ibang sabi dito sa section 3. No, that could be found in a purok organization in a barrio council throughout the country. So now, come to think of it, ano yung mga napapansin nyo at ano yung mga dapat nyo makita with regards to RA 1425. Tandaan nyo, ito ay isang batas na dapat sinusunod at dapat na makita natin. Kung hindi ito nakikita, ibig sabihin, hindi na ipapatupad ng maayos at higit sa lahat, hindi sinusunod ng mga mamamayang Pilipino. Kung kaya't hindi natin nakikita mula sa ating pagkakaupo ngayon o pagkakaintindi na isa lang tong teorya lamang at walang katotohanan na parang hindi mo naman nakikita ng lahat ng dapat na nakasaad at nakalagay. So, sa madaling salita, ano to? Parang ginawa lang, design lang ba to? So, most importantly is, kailangan ginagawa, no? At makita natin yung mga kopya na to. Dahil kung hindi, merong mga, siguro, sabihin na natin mga unjust moment or unjust time na hindi naging fair no, yung ating mga Pilipino sa pagpapatupad ng RA 1425 law. And with regards to Section 4, then again, no, pwede maging violation yung mga pwede nating makita doon. Kaya minsan pag kinakasuhan, no, murder case, anong section siya, bakit kinakasuhan? No? So makikita nyo anong section, particularly ano yung kanyang nalabag o ano yung kanyang mga hindi no, na suportahan o napunuan mula doon sa bagay. Kung kaya't kakasuhan siya at kakaharapin niya ang isang administratibong uh, kaso. So, pag sinabi administratibo, medyo hindi naman kataasan, hindi man krimen na pwede natin sabihin na kahindig-hindi, kundi isang administratibong hindi pagsunod o pagsuway sa ating batas na ating iniimplementa dito sa ating bayan. So, sa Section 4 naman, nothing in this act shall be construed as amendment of repealing Section 927 of the Administrative Code, prohibiting the discussion of religious doctrines in the public school and the school teachers and other persons engaged in any public school. So, ito ay simple lamang no, na karugtong ng RA 1425. Kasi yung 456 is not really ano kasi ano part of the RA 1425 na Rizal law. But this one is in support no and for protection no for the RA 1425. Kasi sabi niya hindi dapat napayagan no ang pagkakaroon ng diskusyon ng mga relihiyosong doktrina no, ng mga public school teachers at ng kahit sino pang tao na engage no sa pagiging public service o public servant. Bakit? Kasi po dito sinasabi din dito no na walang kahit anong religion na dapat meron ng isang state no kasi meron tayong tinatawag na Article 2 yung separation of church and state. So therefore, should be precise no, and amend with this, makita natin yung totoong halaga no, na pagpapahalaga sa RA 1425. Kasi kung magiging isa tayong tulad niya, ng impluensya ng isang pastor o ng isang pari o no, kahit sinong sekta no, na nagbe-brainwash o nagbibigay ng kahit anong idea na hindi naman dapat no in regards with RA 1425. So, pwede siya magkaroon ng kaso. That is the administrative cases na binabanggit ko kanina pa from the section 3. So, ito yung possible na makita natin. So, sumunod naman, the sum of 300,000 pesos is hereby authorized to be appropriated out of any fund not otherwise appropriated in the National Treasury to carry out the purpose of this act. So, ibig sabihin, popondohan, bibigyan ng pera, sapat na halaga na dapat panggastos, at bigyan ng tawag dito, tuon pansin, no? Para mapondohan at maging gumana ang mekanismo, yung makinarya niya doon sa pagsasagawa ng batas ng RA. Kasi kung sabihin natin batas lang, pero wala namang makinarya, wala namang resources, wala namang anything na pwede nating makita na napapatupad. So, wala rin saysay, wala rin siyang, kumbaga, wala siyang yung ngipin na kakagat para doon sa ating batas na RA 1425. Like other laws na meron tayo na ini-impose dito sa Pilipinas. Diba? So, paano magiging isang epektibo ang isang batas kung wala namang pondo at wala namang sapat na materyales o resources no, pang makinarya upang gumana at mapahalagahan itong batas. And Section 6, no, sabi ko nga kanina, as approved by the President on June 12, 1956, and should be taken upon. No? And this one, no, after a publication of 30 days or 60 days ba yata yun? So, kailangan, no, itong approved law na to, shall be implemented no, and everything and others being included here should be forced no, into the law. Like yung anti-terrorism law no, after the 30 days yata. So, naging law na siya and then after 30 days, hinintay nila, nagkaroon dito na isa ng tinatawag na may kapangyarihan na. So, ibig sabihin kahit sinong tao na lumupag sa batas or may act of terrorism at nagkaroon ng probable cause, makakitaan, sila ay kakasuhan ng anti-terrorism. Dito naman sa Republic in 1425, ay kailangan after 30 days ay ma-implement at nagpe-prepare na ang school sa this coming year. That time ng 1956 should be taught this RA 1425 in our curricula. Sunod naman, yung course description natin is Rizal. So, alam na natin to. Nakalagay yan sa ating syllabus. So, take time to read of it and to know more what are the important course description that should know no, in this one. So, ulitin natin, RA 1425, known as Rizal Law, as enacted noong June 12, 1956. And Rizal course focus only on the Rizal's novels, and because both were believed, contain the basic ideas of Rizal about Philippine society. And however, more emphasis on the place of his other works, tertiary level should be taught, and Rizal course is a 3 units. So 3 units is a 3 unit, like your major subjects. So usually it included no, the record history courses, students and emphasis of the results, nationalism, ideas, and works. Other objectives of Rizal course are contains to cultivate the students' knowledge and so on, no? So what you expect before is having from historical, political, philosophical, and significance ideas of Rizal. And some of the objective is prepared by the Board of National Education during the 1956 and in the part of mid as follows. So one of the objective of the Board of National Education is mapataas yung relevance of results, ideas, teachings, and values. So, kaya tinatanong ko from our past activity, no, yung sa 21st century, ano kaya yung magiging role ni Rizal in our days today? So, yung mga sinagot nyo, it's a good and better no, perception and how do you look no, Rizal in our 21st century? Yung mga pwede natin makita that day-to-day life problems in the contemporary life. Sabi nung iba, pwede maging politician, pwede maging doctor, pwede maging teacher. So, good thing that you look now for many ideas no, and perspective how Rizal could be no, uh, help us and promote things no, in life of the Filipinos. Lalo pandemic. So, yun din. Understanding appreciation of students and exemplary qualities. So, sabi ko, anong criteria na pwede natin makita mula dun sa course or significance na dun sa ating law na RO 425 at saka ng course ninyo at subject na SOCSIC. So, nakakatuwa dahil marami nagsabi na it will deepen our understanding, it will describe as one word discipline, it is described as a knowledge. So, ibig sabihin, nakita natin yung pagkakaroon ng bagay dito sa objective niya. And corollary objectives are to develop the sense of pride. So, alam, dapat natin, no, sabi nyo nga, as an HRM, you should know first our history from other history of other foreign countries, no, because could be yung mga HRM, pwede maging isang flight attendant, maging tourist guide, and etc. na pwede natin maging pride of the sense of being a Filipino sa this country na to hone students' potential. So, pwede makita natin na sa pamamagitan ng pag-aaral ng RU 425, napapalawak, napapadami, at mas lalo natin napapalalim pagkilala sa ating bansa, no, lalo sa development ng history at kung paano natin na papahalaga ng mga and spirit of defending oppressed na marginalized. No? To discuss further, no? Ito kasi yung ano eh, pinaka-humility, yung pagka God side ng isang batas natin at good thing ng isang ating pagka-Pilipino. No? Na nagkakaroon tayo ng cooperation and people na in the communities no, na meron. Because sabi nga doon sa ating Noli and Anvil, no, minumulat lang ni Rizal tinutulungan yung mga marginalized one. But at this one, no, at this point, ibang idea itong meron tayo na pagtulong. At niya yung pagiging bayanihan nila. No? Pero doon sa RA 1425 at sa NOLA LCD, minumulat ni Rizal, tinutulungan niyang makawala from the slavery ang mga Pilipino na yung abuse one na ginawa ng mga Spaniards here in the Philippines to the Filipino one is hindi dapat na maulit. And we have to defend and to know the spirit of bayanihan na magkaisa tayo. Kasi watakot ang Pilipino nun eh. Pulo-pulo tayo. No? At wala tayo pagkakaisa. Kaya kung mapapanood ninyo mula sa yung palabas sa El Presidente, kay Bonifacio, kay Goyo, yung mga ganong makabayang palabas na sa cinema na makikita lamang, ay makikita tong spirit ng objective na to. Sunod is to foster Filipino students in deep understanding of nationalism. Malayo ng pagkilala, magiging makabansa, at pagiging makajus no, mula dito sa ating pag-aaral ng life and works of Rizal. And recognize as a model of valor of dignity. Alam naman natin no, kung paano pinakita yung mga ganitong katangian ni Rizal. And you make no, as an example one si Rizal as a form of dignity ng bawat Pilipino. Pero throughout the Asia, ito lang naman yung may pagmamalaki natin, no? Ng bansa Pilipinas. Itong si Rizal. Kasi kung sabi nga ninyo, kung nabubuhay pa si Rizal, meron siyang model na tinatawag na pagiging exemplar or good one to everyone na pwede natin siyang sabihin na, uy, meron kami naging isang bayani o Pilipino na naging ganito at naging isang malaking impluensya at naging impact sa buong bayan ng Pilipinas o buong mundo man kung meron mang nakikita kayo evidence no Pwede nating i-share. And yan, acquire values na pwede nating malaan no, from the different perspective of how Rizal no, show his life and his works and life of Rizal no, na ating subject. Aspiration, no? Para naman maging isa sa mga iniidolo natin o pwede sa mga hinahangaan natin as to refer to the moral and ideology. So sabi nyo nga, yung mga nag-quote pa dyan, hindi marunong magmasa sa sariling wika, sige mas malansang isda, no? At etc. No, ng mga inilagay. Now, to argument the story regarding the proclamation. Uh, Sabi ni Renato, isa sa mga unang maging Pilipinong historiador, no? Na nag-raise ng ating topic about Rizal being a national hero. His speech in the veneration without understanding. No? On the quotation of, sabi niya dito, Rizal's recognition among other Filipino heroes was partly the result of American sponsorship. Oo, totoo naman. No? Kaya yung susunod na ipapakita ko sa inyo na argument is something that talks to historian arguments to Rizal as a hero. Kasi kung i-discuss natin American sponsorship, mahaba. I will send no, a link about the bakit hindi naging bayani si Rizal o hindi naging isang pambansang bayani. No? Pakinggan at talakayin nyo ito at ito yung magiging sunod na activity natin next meeting this week. So, kaya you have to further no, develop your good understanding of what's R1425 and Rizal as a law and becoming a hero one at the same time. And Ambito Campo, no, historian also, mentioned that Rizal is a conscious hero. Sabi ko nga nung una pa propeta si Rizal. For he already foreseen his future. Alam niya na kung ano ang mangyayari sa kahinatnan ng kanyang susunod na future or ng panahon na meron. So, where are proofs of his claim, of this claim? So, it is clear that his letters, diaries, and writings, he had planned his entire life down to the last detail. So, ito yung mga bagay. And to add, like what did no by Myong o itong si Presidente Aguinaldo, no? In order to remember or the remembrance of the death of Rizal, nagkaroon ng December 30. So this one that in practice and imposed to the law na tuwing ika-30 ng Disyembre, no, kada taon ay walang pasok sa lahat ng mga tanggapan ng gobyerno at sineselebrate natin ang pagkamatay ni okay o ating inaalaala ang pagkamatay ni ah, Rizal. So kaya nga may mga half mast minsan because of commemorating of the death of Rizal. So alam na natin yan before.